Glad y'all could make it. And I guess if you guys have like paper to draw on to get some pointers and tips, that's good. If you don't, then memorize it. So, let's see. So let's start off now. I'm using this tablet for the first time. I'm a traditional inker, pen and ink. And so if the drawings look a little weird, it's because I'm kind of using this for the first time. So, all right. So this panel's for how to draw Rick and Morty. My name is David Angelo Roman. I work on some of the comic book covers of Rick and Morty, and I've done all the seasons for the trading card set. So I've pretty much drawn every character that's had a little bit of, I guess, talking parts. You know, everything from King Jellybean to Mr. Droopy Butthole to Noob Noob and typical Rick and Morty, of course. So let's start off with the most, I guess, requested commission, because you people are crazy. What do you think the most requested character would be? Pickle Rick. Yeah. Of course it's Pickle Rick. So I'll show you how to draw Pickle Rick. He's not too thin like a normal pickle. He's kind of a little bit on the thick side. So let me draw him. Move this down a little more. All right. So I usually just start towards the top. You gotta put a little wave because he's a pickle. A few little bumps here and there. And the Happy Pickle Rick is going to have a rainbow eyebrow. Two circular eyes. Ooh, it's kind of wavy. Crappy eyeballs. And pupils are like squiggly. And his mouth is wide open. Little teeth. Little tongue, the edge of his mouth. You could put drool, and I've had people say, Pickle Rick doesn't drool. It's like, well, you don't know Pickle Rick like I do. So he's completely full of pickle juice. So you could put drool on him. I think it's cool, especially if I do a commission for someone. There's really not a lot of details in Pickle Rick, so the more details I can put, the better. So what I do is put like a little wrinkle on it on the top of this to make it look like his eyebrows being pushed up. Some drool, and of course you got the bumps. And one right there, and then I do like 4 or 5 right at the bottom. Then it's like he's so excited. Oh my God, I'm Pickle Rick. So there's Pickle Rick. Another one I like to do when people say, well, I like Pickle Rick, but you know, I've seen so many versions of Pickle Rick, so I'll tell them, okay, well, I can do a half-eaten Pickle Rick where he's all like freaking out. So for that, I draw him sideways. You know, you gotta put the occasional bumps on him. And then I do bite marks. Little center core, some seeds, and then I kind of make them all messed up. And then so he's not too happy, and his eyeballs are kind of going different directions. A wrinkle on his nose, like he's like, "Argh!" It's actually, I usually use the drunk Rick mouth. Lots of drool. And little teeth. Little tongue like he's like screaming in agony. Oh my God. Then I do the juice. And then the bumps. And that's the half-eaten pickle Rick. So you can always just do this. It's just burnt, expanded. So let's try another page.
You can't actually scroll down.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh my God, technology. That's awesome. Okay. Let's see. Anybody have any questions on Pickle Rick? Okay. I know everybody's like, I want to ask him, but it's perverted. I can't say it. So that's. I understand. I understand. Somebody wanted a cute, adorable character. Which one do you think people ask for? Okay, let me rephrase that. What character name do kids love to say that they can get away with? Mr. Poopy Butthole. Yeah, so he's a big request. Every time someone asks me, actually, you know, even adults, not just kids, but even the adults, after they say Mr. Poopy Butthole, they all go, and yeah, it's, they were trying to think of the most messed up, kind of funny name that they can get away with a super cute character. They didn't want to give him a cute name, so they was like, yeah, let's kind of mess up. Give him a weird name that doesn't really match, but where they think, oh, he's so cute and adorable. So, Mr. Poopy Butthole. And he's pretty easy. So, start off with the eyes. They're big. I like to make his eyes extra messed up. In a sense, pretty much almost like Pickle Rick, the body of Pickle Rick. He's got a skinny little nose, a cute little crooked smile, and he's got some little wrinkles underneath. And that's, it's just his little face. Now, if you really want to make him look like he's tripping big time, then you do the eyes like this. Sometimes I do Rick like that too, where Justin Roiland likes to do it extra trippy, and he does like extra like squiggles all over the place, to where he's like, whoa, he's like tripping on acid or something. But just getting back to normal. That's a typical Mr. Poopy Butthole. Then let's do this. What about Morty? You want to do something like the many faces of Morty? Okay, so Morty, of course, he's got a round basketball-shaped head. Sometimes I like to think of, you know, just the shapes. Helps me get the proportions right. He's got like a white boy afro. Big eyes. A little button nose. When he's confused, he looks like this. More than Morty. He's so innocent. I'll do one where he would be kind of in love. A little love face. He's kind of blushing. Let's do one where he's screaming. Usually when he screams, his eyes get a little bit bigger. Yeah. And his tongue gets very elongated. It's kind of stretched. And this one he's kind of looking up, like he's running off. And he's got sweat down his forehead. Let's see what other one. Oh, let's do one mad. Gotta do at least one mad Morty. So Mad Morty would, or at least annoyed Morty. Maybe you could even put some blush on his face too. Trying to think of another fun Morty to draw. Oh yeah, this is a good one too. I like drawing this one. There's the reason why I'm having it face the other direction. You know what? That's kind of crooked. I'll try that again. I don't know how to use the drop bucket, so I'm just going to squeeze the whole damn thing. Of course, evil Morty. And, any questions? Yes. There's lesser characters. You just have to pay attention, but there's lesser characters that also have a round head, but I think the main reason they made them like a round head, because that's the most innocent that they could think of. You know, like when you're an adult, your face tends to get more chiseled and elongated. And I guess they figured Morty would have a big round, like noggin with big old eyes, so he's like real dopey looking. I think that's what they wanted to go with. And then, oh, and everybody's favorite. Can anybody guess who I'm drawing? Not really. Yeah, this will give you a clue. Yeah. He's looking at the audience because they're just mistreating him. Poor Jerry. Huh? Oh yeah, let's make him. There's hurt his feelings. And let's see. How about? Oh yeah. Let's do a typical Rick. So I'm going to do a typical Rick. Believe it or not, I start with his eyebrows. I don't know why. It's just me. Every time I start with the shape of his head, I end up editing his head anyway. So I just do his eyebrows. So do a typical Rick. This is just his blank. I'm just a jerk stare. Then we'll do another one where he's trying to seduce the ladies. Look. course, Rick still doesn't know that that vomit drool is not attractive. But hate is gonna hate. And let's do one where he's really happy. And the one Rick I like to draw the most is what I call shit-face Rick. He had a very rough night. Lab coat falling off his arm on the outside. Regular lab coat on the inside. Stain marks all over his shirt because he's been puking all night. A rough night. That's shit-face Rick. Because I put like junk all over the place. So like maybe he slept in the trash. There's fleas jumping all over him. Let's see. And I don't know how I'm going to do with this. I'm going to try doing another character. Let's try. Oh, already messed up. Well, just do it like this anyway. Of course, it's Snowball or Snuffles. Snuffles was his slave name. It's a little, it looks a little weird, but did it fast. What do you expect for 20 seconds? All right, anything y'all can think of that you want me to try? Yes? Noob. God dang. So Noob, there's one eye there, one eye here. He's always got this cute little squint on him. And Big smile. He always does his job with a smile. There you go. Noob. He gets it. So are you guys getting ready for November season premiere? Cool. I got bad news for everybody. It's not bad. It's only 3 more months. They got delayed 3 more months. So December, January. So February, they think it'll be probably released. You heard it from me first. So I'm lying. I'm just joking. So yeah, November. I've been messing with everybody all day. I had one guy leave the table, like kind of depressed. I'm like, dude, no, I'm just kidding. Come back. And he's like, oh, you are? I was like, yes, I'm just kidding. Just totally kidding. Yeah, so don't get mad. Let's see. Let's see if y'all can guess who this is. You guys have to yell it. The first person that knows it, yell it. How do I not give it away? Anybody know yet? No?
Squanch?
Yeah. Make him a little crazy. Squatch. And his squatchy goodness. Those little fleas jumping off of him. Yay! He's so happy to be here. And let's see. Let's try the portal gun. You guys want to draw a portal gun? Okay, so portal gun, usually I draw the side first. Draw that part, so I know where the portal gun is situated. And there's a portal gun. It looks like a weird condom, but oh well, it's the best I can do. Oh, receptacle end. See, it did it again. It's got this weird bump right here. What the heck's going on? What is going on? Look, I can't feel that. Dang it. Go, no, the receptacle end. Okay, I tried. Portal gun. Oh well. There. So besides drawing, do you guys have any questions for me? Any questions at all? Like, I started, I'm one of the new guys actually. I started almost 2 years ago. I had already seen season 1, I really liked it. And I was already doing art for Star Wars and Walking Dead. And Cryptozoic said, hey, you want to do trading cards? And I thought, I don't know if I want to do trading cards. You know, I saw the Cryptkins, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of more cute. He said, we're going to do Rick and Morty. We haven't announced it yet. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I thought, oh, maybe I can get my foot in the door. And so, since I was already a big fan of Rick and Morty, and I was already doing commissions of Rick and Morty for people because that's what they were requesting, which was a relief, because I was doing like lots of photorealistic drawings of Walking Dead characters like Norman Reedus and Michonne, and that's how I got popular. A lot of people are like, man, his photorealism's on spot, and then I was doing Star Wars, lots of Darth Vaders, Boba Fett's, and I was like, man, I like doing it, I like the money, but man, that's a lot of realism, it takes up a lot of time. So when I started doing commissions for Rick and Morty, you know, for people, they really liked it. So I did my season 1 trading cards where I did 120 cards, and at the time my manager saw that, man, these are spot on and they're fully colored, and it's because I went with the mindset of, I gotta do the best that I can. I don't want anyone to say their cards are better than mine. Like the hardest working artist that's gonna be doing these card sets, I don't want their cards to be better than mine. Maybe equal, but not better. And so I did a really, really good job on every one. That, of the 120 cards, they let me keep 15 artist proofs, and I couldn't decide which one. So I had to ask friends, like, man, which one should I get? Which one should I keep? So it was that hard, I mean, because I did every card like a work of art. And so when I turned them in, I was like, yay, I did some Rick and Morty art, it's official, I'm on their website as a listed artist. And then I got an email from Oni Press, like, hey, you know, you can do a cover, would you like to do a variant cover? And that's when I did my first variant cover for Rick and Morty, which was the number 37, which is the Team Szechuan versus Team Pickle, where, you know, all the characters are about to fight each other, and Rick's like, yeah, go to battle. And so that's how I got into it. And so I've been doing it almost 2 years, and since then I'm one of the few artists that like to travel overseas a lot. And so when word got out, I started getting invited to Tokyo, to Copenhagen, Colombia, Panama, Dubai, South Africa, England, and I was like, hey, I get to travel and I don't have to get a regular job. Yay. And that's what I've been doing. And then once I did Rick and Morty, then they wanted me to do all the seasons for season 1 through 5 of Steven Universe. So that was fun. So I'll do a Steven, fast Steven. Let's do a fast Steven. This will be a happy Steven. Super happy.
Okay. And
he's got like big teeth. I don't know why, but he does. He always make him with big teeth. His big old fro. That's Steven.
hello.
There you go. That's Steven. Let's see. Question.
What is your favorite Rick and Morty character?
It's so typical. Me. It's always Rick. He's such a brutally honest person that he's such a jerk. And what's funny is that, you know, he's like, you know, it's funny because you can't get mad at the guy because if he offends you or offends somebody, it's like, well, did he break the law? No. Did he say a lie? Oh, no. Did he say the truth? Oh, yeah, it's the truth, but, you know, you really shouldn't say it. It's like, no, no, no. With Rick, if the truth hurts, it's your problem. Get over it. And I think that's what a lot of people love Rick and Morty is they get to watch it, it's politically incorrect, everyone is fair game. So you can't really call Rick a homophobe because, you know, if you watch the episode of with Unity, he was doing everyone and everything, he didn't care. He's like very open-minded. The only thing he's closed-minded about is dumb people. Yeah, he doesn't like dumb people, but I think a lot of people watch it, they laugh so hard, and it's like they take a microscopic vacation, and after the episode's over, they're like, oh my God, that was awesome. What was I mad about earlier today? And then they're like, oh, I can't remember, but it's good, good laughter. I think a lot of TV shows that well, here's the thing about the funniest jokes kind of sound racist, but it's because we make fun of ourselves. And like, I'm Hispanic, I'm Mexican American, and there was this one girl, there was another guy that I was telling him a joke that my uncle told me, and he's from Mexico. And I forgot the joke, I'm horrible with jokes, I can't remember. But I told him before I could forget, and this one girl was getting offended, and she was not Hispanic at all, let's just say that. But apparently she wanted to defend the Hispanic community because we're too dumb to defend ourselves, right? According to her. So I was like, so I basically knew, oh, she thinks I'm white. All right, I'm gonna pull out the card right here in a minute. And so I got her to get to the point to where it's like, oh, so you think Hispanics are too dumb to defend themselves and you gotta stick up for them? She goes, oh my God, you're so racist. Like, discúlpame, pero soy mexicano. And I just let her have it, just ripped into her. I was like, I think we've been doing pretty good for a couple 100,000 years, and if I don't recall, the world has us to thank for the calendar, so. Yeah. So I think that's the thing about comedy is that, in this day and age, where everybody's so politically correct and nobody wants to offend anybody, and if someone is going to be offended, there's all these, social justice warriors that feel they got to defend people that don't need defending, but everything's been censored so badly. And then all of a sudden Rick and Morty comes along, and it's just a worldwide phenomenon. Like, I think the whole world is sick and tired of walking on eggshells, and they just want to laugh. And I can tell you, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Colombia, I've been to Panama, I've been to, Japan, Copenhagen, England. I'm about to go to South Africa, Canada, all over the US, from New York to San Diego. And I can tell you, it's massive. Rick and Morty is just massive. Like, if you get just t-shirt sales alone, they completely blow away DC and Marvel just on t-shirts alone. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I think once some cartoons quit being so politically correct and just, have fun, there'll be other shows like Rick and Morty, but I hope not. I hope Rick and Morty's the only one that's going to be crazy like that, because of that I can still travel and make a decent living. So I forgot what the question was, but I just rambled on. I know I answered the question in the beginning and I just went blah, 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 and I just went somewhere else. Any other questions? Yes. You mean inside the Steven universe? Oh yeah. I mean, I've drawn Garnet, Pearl, Amethyst, Steven, their combinations, the different diamonds, Sapphire, Ruby, the dad, the teenagers. Oh my God, the pumpkin dog. Oh my God. I forgot how many characters. The Fry family, I guess, with the crazy hair. Onion. I really like drawing the van. I don't know why. I want to get one of those 70s vans because they're really cool. But I've done a lot of those characters as well. So I've done a ton of Star Wars and also Walking Dead. No, I've done, I did there are different combinations, I forgot what they were. I know there's an Alexandrite and opal, I've drawn them, and I've drawn the really big one where they all combine, and forgive me if I don't remember the name.
Obsidian.
Yes. So, those are the ones I can remember, but I was just kind of like, I gotta finish drawing them, and so I was doing a lot of surfing and watching the cartoon and pausing it and saying, okay, that's how that person looks, and then I would draw them. I forgot what else. There was another one besides the watermelon dog. No, pumpkin. There was a pumpkin puppy, and then there was a watermelon puppy as well. And I don't think they've ever met, but when I drew one of the cards, they're jumping and they're playing together. So it was really cute. And a watermelon Steven, I remember I drew him. Any other questions? Yes. Believe it or not, say Beth. I like drawing her, she's awesome, but she's kind of tricky because she's a little bit pretty, but not quite pretty like the girls in the school with like pretty eyes and around her head. So her head's more elongated, so it's really easy to make her look ugly. It's kind of, I gotta take my time and erase a couple times. But yeah, it would be Beth, but she's a badass.
What is like the coolest crossover that you've done with Rick as that's all the one that you did was Spawn.
Yes.
So what's
I think the coolest one. That was a funny one, but I think one of the coolest ones was I did a buff Rick as Hulk, and I did Scary Terry as Wolverine, and I did a homage to Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine. So, and I had Morty in the background as, I forgot that character, what's that character name? Like, he looks like a little, kind of like a Sasquatch, but it was Morty, but so Morty's running behind him going, screaming. So that's a really good one. Another one was Rick and Morty as Batman and Robin, giving the fingers to the Joker, and the Joker's like, his legs are all broken with bones sticking out. He's screaming in pain and bloody because Batman never did that, but Rick would. So that was another good one. Any other questions? All the way in the back.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character to draw?
I like Darth Vader because he's hard. When you look at him, it's like, oh my God, he's so hard to draw because of all the dark and reflection, but I found a way to draw him really easy, and it's a lot of fun now when I draw him to make him look extra reflective and make his eyes look like they're glass and they're inset. It's a lot of fun to draw him. Second is Boba Fett. Any other questions? Come on, one more.
All right, we're clear.
I know I've drawn other drawings before, but the only drawing I can still picture in my mind that I got in trouble for, and later on the teacher had to apologize, was I was in Catholic school, and for communion I had to draw like how I thought Christ was. So I drew Christ on the cross. I must have been in 3rd grade. And so, but that's the first time I actually tried to draw, anything with muscles. And so he came out really, really good, like an adult drew him. So when I turned him in, the nuns were mad that I wouldn't admit that someone else drew it. And so they made me like kneel outside in the hallway on the floor. And so I was mad. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I did it. It's my art. And I had to draw it inside of a book, my communion book. And so they called in my mom and says like, yeah, someone else turned in homework for him. And she was mad. My mom was furious. So, and she's a really good artist. And so when she went in there and they said, this is what your son is claiming he drew. And she looked at it and she just looked at the lady like really annoyed. It's like, my son did draw this. It's like, we come from a family of artists. So, yeah, he drew this. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, he drew this. So they're like shocked that I drew him in pain with blood and his muscles all like stretched out with the rib cage, and they're like, and so that's when the first time I saw someone's face and I knew, oh my God, I think I am good at art. I impressed them, and they were apologizing because they were making me kneel. So they gave me 2 chocolate milks the next day. That was pretty good. I thought that was awesome. Like, yes. And at the time I was learning English. So I was, chocolate. So I was very happy. Yeah, I'm American, born in the US, but the first couple of years of my life I lived in Mexico because my dad worked there. So it's kind of funny that I came over and, yeah, spoke Spanish. Monterrey, yeah. And I wanted to tell my mom I love you because somebody taught my brother how to say I love you in English, in slang. And I wanted to do it, but my brother wouldn't let me. So he wanted to tell my mom he loved her. So he said, Mom, and I'm gonna edit. I'm not gonna say the word, but he says, Mom, F you. She just went, and I was like, whoa. So yeah, it's part of learning English. You gotta learn the bad words. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. I loved it because he always picked on me to watch him get slapped. That was amazing. That was awesome. And there's no more questions. I will. One more question. I tried, but I found out at an early age that art teachers are mainly people that love art that aren't very good at it, or artists that never made it. They could never make a living doing art, so they became art teachers. But I have had really good art teachers that would push me to better myself by referencing books, and I would always have teachers tell me, like, you know, you gotta learn how to do rough sketches, and you gotta learn how to draw this, and they'd give me books on Da Vinci or Michelangelo, and they would have me do my best to reproduce one of their images. And really, if you want to get into manga or comic books, best thing to do is get manga and comic books and check out their layouts and get really good at layouts and just practice, because there's no real art teacher in college or in high school that's going to show you how to draw that stuff. So there's a lot of kids that go to school because they want to aspire to that, but you know what? 99% of the people that draw manga in the U.S., or at least in the U.S., and for comics, 99% of them, they don't take art classes in college. They're nerds and they draw. So there you go. I just saved you like $90,000. So, and then you raised your hand earlier. Smart ass dude that like keeps coming by my table. No, I'm just kidding. What's your question, bud?
Yeah. So bird person is usually the real still going back to the same expression. How does any monkey drum or feel like?
So this is bird person is where I tell people, like they say, oh yeah, Rick and Morty was in. It's basically based off of Doc and Marty from Back to the Future. It's like, no, not just in the very initial, but the majority of the actual storylines have a lot of reference to Star Wars and Star Trek, and bird person is Spock. He's very like common sense kind of. Oh, what's Spock always say? Logical. Yeah, he's very logical, very stoic. He just maintains a normal pitch of voice. He never really changes it. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, you think his eyes are slightly like closed. He looks like he doesn't have much emotion. So, yeah. Huh? He mates. And if you notice that they use the same term, the Vulcans, they find a mate. They don't fall in love. He did. He found his mate. Yeah, and he mentions that. He says that a couple of times. I think he's looking for a mate, and then he was in. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he looks and acts so much like Spock.
those different characters all in like in basically one scene, and then the other episode with all the different scenes?
I don't know, because I don't work on the actual cartoon. I do the comic books and the trading cards, but I know they have a team of artists also, and a lot of background artists, colorists, animators, but before they do an episode, they'll have like, between 9 and 12 people. And they'll get together and they'll come up with the storyboard, the lines, the story for that one episode. And of course, Justin will put his 2 cents worth in because he comes up with these crazy ass ideas. And the rest of the team's job is to tone it down because his ideas are really genius. It's like, okay, how can we use that same idea but get it approved so we don't get censored? And so that's the challenge. And then they try to make sense of it all. Sometimes he'll say, well, I want to do this. I want this to happen. How do we do this? It's like, oh, how do we plug that in? How do we make a story about it? So they actually have a team, not just one writer, but they have like I guess a powwow of brainstormers that are in there. And so it's pretty interesting. I'll give you a clue to close things up here. Last time I met Justin was in Indianapolis a couple months ago, and he gave me a clue. He said that there will be a girl Morty, and something's going to happen to Morty to where the portal gun leaks and breaks, and the contents spill on Morty, and he disappears and goes into an alternate universe, and Rick doesn't know where he's at, and he's going to have to look for him. So those are 2 clues. I know he told me something else, I just can't remember what it was. He kind of made me drink a little bit. So, yeah, I can't, it was rough. And that's it. So, if you guys think of anything else, stop by my table. I will be here tomorrow. Yes, sir. I'm sorry? Okay, so I draw on paper because I like to have a hard copy. I use like a hard pencil that just leaves a light mark, but that I can still see because they're easier to erase as well. And sometimes I use blue pencil if I want to keep the blue lines. I think it's really cool when you can still see the rough sketches in blue, and then I ink over it. But I try to do it the traditional way just because I'm just a nerd like that. I love original art. So I don't do a lot of tablet stuff. Just because when you're done, the art's gone. It's like, oh man. And I get a lot of my customers that will collect original inks, so I save it. Yeah. Okay, so what time is it? Oh, we've gone way over, but it was fun. All right, well, if you guys have any other questions, stop by my table tomorrow. Stop by my table tomorrow. Are you gonna be here tomorrow? Okay, give me your question.
What's one question you've always wanted to answer?
Oh yeah, okay. What is the weirdest thing I've ever been asked to draw? And it would be a Morty with a gag ball in his mouth and with giant nipples. And I drew it because I thought it was funny, and I drew it anyway, and the guy paid me, so I'm like, all right.
What time tomorrow?
I'm sorry?
What time tomorrow?
Whatever time they open, I will be here tomorrow. When they open the main floor, I will be at my table, and I'll be there until it's time to shut down.
Are you doing autographs too? Or?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, the only time I charge for an autograph is if I'm signing a toy or a Funko. Otherwise, I sign for free. And I take pictures for free too. And that's it. Thank you for coming, guys. You guys were awesome.